Renaud, hello. You're looking very relaxed there.
Yeah, hello, Don. Yeah, very relaxed. It's good. It's good. Yes,
You're
I'm taking
recharging,
time for me.
yeah, recharging your batteries. So, where are you? What are you doing at the moment?
So I am north of Recife and about 200 kilometers, just in a small place. No noise, no people, no carnival, just quiet, taking time for me. As you can see, I
Yeah,
am
yeah,
in a hut, so it's very pleasant.
that's cool. Sounds like the place to be. So, we haven't spoken much since Cape Town. So let's just go back to Cape Town to Saint Helena. What's your memory on that voyage? Seems like a long time ago.
Yeah, Cape Town, St. Helena was good. Good flying carpet. I get the wind quite. So the start was no wind. Then I see the wind was a bit away. So just put the engine once we have been allowed to for not more than half an hour up to two knots and a half, and then I get the wind, and in the night I get the current, so it's just pushing me quite fast. And I had not Dan near me, so it was pleasant to have Dan near me to compare the speed in terms of the race, and it was a nice sailing going to St. Helena. A bit. Uh, how can you say, balancing the boat, not balancing, but rock and roll sometime with the waves and the currents, and but it was a nice sailing, and it was good. At the beginning it was cold at night, and then it was hot arriving in St. Helena, so just to see that we left the south latitude to go back in the tropical area.
Yeah,
No,
exactly. Get a bit
nice sailing,
warmer.
but quite fast. Good, really
Yeah.
enjoyable.
And so, what was your strongest memory of Recife? How did you find the anchorage? And then, what was the most fun part about not Recife, Saint Helena? Yeah,
In St. Helena. Okay, we're still in St. Helena. So St. Helena is a very special place. It looks like the time does not spend. It looks like it is in maybe 40 years ago, maybe it was the same. Maybe 100 years ago was the same. I don't know. It does not look so much changing. The people are very friendly. It's a nice place to go. It is not a nice place to go with a small boat because it's quite difficult for the anchorage. And we had the luck that the yacht club of St. Helena did put some anchorage for us. So it was really good to have these because it's quite deep and quite difficult. Then on the land, no, it's a nice place. It's a bit mountain, up and down, narrow road, but you know, it's a good place to rest. Yeah,
yeah,
I did
yeah,
love Campagna. It's great. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, and then the next leg up to Recife. I mean, you're in the lead again all the way. Dan trying to catch you, he couldn't catch you. What was your take on that one?
So the leg to Recife just it was fast. It was fast. I could not believe it was so fast. I was thinking more days, maybe 2 days more. But again, as from the start, I will say it's from Lagos, even this, not the start from Antigua, but even, yeah, good luck. I start with the last trade wind wave, so I've been able to increase my advance on not on Dan still at 5 hours, but on the others, because when they start, they had no wind, so it was just amazing that again the luck was with me. Uh, I don't know why. I don't know how. I just see this.
It's skill and expertise. It's all yeah. That's another story. When you were you ever? Yeah, you were close sometimes on radio. Were you in touch with Dan on the radio much?
Do I have what? Sorry.
Have radio communications with Dan, so speaking together on the radio.
With Dan, we chat a bit with messages.
Yeah. Okay.
Not on the radio. You know, the VHF is good, but you need to be very very close. Our masts are very small, so you
Yeah.
need to be close. But with Messenger, you can be very far, and it's quite pleasant to have some exchange like this. Yeah, the sailing from St. Helena was again a bit rock and roll. We had the wind from one side, but the wave from the other side, and some big cloud, big rain, maybe sometimes wind, maybe sometimes no wind. So I had to push a bit to get the boat keeping in this trade wind wave, and just stop on the arrival in Recife to north. But yeah, it was good. Yeah, again, it was a very nice sailing. Yeah, very pleasant, very fast, and the arrival in Recife with Sueli and Manolo was a so great welcome, and they are so helpful that I really want to thank them again.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you're chatting with, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Yannick and Antonio and stuff are very helpful. When you're chatting with Dan, do you ever tell him what you got up, like no mainsail, number three and number five, or do you talk
Yes,
about that between each other?
yes, sometimes, but as I also communicate with others about this, but some days you change maybe 10 times a day, 15 times a day the sails because the wind increase or the winds go down, so you have to put another one, or then you have to put out the A5, then you are to A5, then you have the main, and so for me, I change a lot the sails. So uh, I think communicating about the sail is not very helpful for anyone.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
what is important is to see how strong is the wind and what is your average. And being as this average, that means you are at a good speed and you don't really need to see what others have.
Yeah. 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 And so, okay, try and explain to us your sleeping patterns. Like say from Saint Helena to Recife, your
Yeah.
sleeping pattern. What was your usual routine for sleeping?
Sorry, I did not catch. What I usually what?
Your usual method of sleeping, like your sleeping program. How often you sleep, when you sleep, and so on.
I did keep exactly the same rhythm as the one I had from the beginning of the mini globe race. Every 4 hours, checking YB3, checking the weather, checking where I am, checking the others, checking the wind, and comparing the weather with what I can see on windy, eating something, drinking something, uh, if it's possible, going to sleep, if not steering, and this is every 4 hours. So I don't sleep so much. I sleep maybe an hour or an hour and a half every 4 hours. This is an average. Sometimes less. Sometimes if you don't have the possibility to get the boat going straight, so I have to steer. So sometimes I sleep only 2 hours, 3 hours per 24 hour. Uh, so yeah, this is the rhythm I have from Antigua. So
Yeah.
this is why I'm a bit tired, and each time coming up near the end, that I am each time more tired and need to have good rest without any noise or festivities around me.
Yeah. Okay. So for someone that had a 580 and they wanted to do the Transat or the MGR, what's your advice to them on going fast? What advice would you give to a 580 sailor to go fast?
Um, so this is a complex question because
Yes.
I try to explain this to all my friends in the MCR from the beginning, and apparently it's hard to apply. So I think the first thing is to be able to sail as much as possible before the start,
Yeah.
to know the boat, because sometimes uh, you just give 5 centimeters of the ship and the boat goes faster or easier to sail, or you take 5 centimeters of the ship, and then the boat is again faster. So, it, so first sail with the boat as much as possible in any condition. Do not load too much sails on your boat. It will be harder to sail, but it won't be faster. Once you are at the average you want to be, if you remember at the beginning of the Transat, I said everyone who will have a 5.3, 5.4 average will be at the top. And after the Transat, we've seen it's maybe more than 5.6. But 5.4 to 5.6 is very close. So I think if you can keep an average 5.4 in terms of the results, you will be far enough in the fleet. Then you must really get your boat going straight, making as less as possible zigzag. You must understand that the the wind vane or the hydrovane is reacting after. So it's time for the air pad to go on the side, and it's time for the rudder of the hydrovane or for the flattener of the wind vane to act, and then the boat is starting to move, to correct. So it's make big zigzag. So you have to imagine a system. I have imagined a system on my hydrovane with some shock cord to avoid too much movement of the hydrovane rudder. And I think Pilar and Dan are doing the same. So they are not linked together, rudder and hydrovane, but it's a shock cord who limits the movement of the rudder of the hydrovane or the main rudder of the boat. That means the zigzags are less.
Yeah.
Is it understandable, Dan?
Absolutely. I've been thinking about the last 2 months.
Okay. When Keri, and if it's a silverpendula like Keri has, the Harris, if you remember, he was completely desperate going to Tonga because he was not able to steer his boat with his nice Harris he got from Marques's. And I did explain him, and again in Fiji, how to limitate the movement of the Harris with shock cords on his aerial part. And after this, he was very pleased that the boat is much easier sailable. This is the knowledge I have from the beginning of the mini Transat, when I did talk with a sailor long time ago. They had the Navic, and they had exactly the same problem with the Navic, and they used shock cords to make
Yeah.
limitation of the movement of the boat.
Yeah.
So this is important. Then sometimes you must not use the hydrovane if you want to slip, or the wind vane. You must use your electric tiller, because in lots of conditions the electric tiller is much more efficient because it goes straight. That means if the wind change, you will not change your direction, and you can go sleeping without thinking, oh, the wind is changing, do I go 30 degrees somewhere else? I don't want to do. So that means you have a straight line, and it's lots of condition. It's much more efficient than the wind vane. Okay,
Yeah.
but this is not all the time. Most of the time, when the conditions are a bit rough, if you want to go fast, you have to steer.
Yeah.
So you take your food, you take your water, you take your solar cream, you take your
Yeah.
passions.
Yeah.
I put big music, big loud music in my cockpit, and steering, and steering. Yeah,
Yes. I know exactly what you mean. Okay. Well, that's all good advice.
yeah. There's another advice which is
Yeah.
very important. It's very important to go fast in the correct direction. So downloading GRIB file and studying them and noting what you have and compare them with the GRIB file to see if you are in advance or late on the system is very important.
Yeah, in terms of the forecast, yes.
Yeah,
Where
if you
it is.
are late or in advance of the forecast, yeah, that's very important. And
Yeah,
I think this is not a secret. This is something. As much information you have, if you are
yes.
able to treat them, makes you better.
Yeah, the grid files are interesting like that because in the Southern Ocean, you can just watch your barograph or your barometer, and you'll see where you are in the system. Whereas in
Yeah,
the
uh,
Pacific and the trades, you can't because it's so mild. But the grid
yeah,
files are good.
yeah.
Good.
You know, when we were in the Mozambique Channel, on the second in the second front, we had the one coming from southwest.
Hmm.
Uh, it was strange. I have a electronic barometer on board, as you
Yeah,
know, a Vion, and it does not change, does not move.
yeah, exactly. It's too it's
There is no.
too
It
mild.
was
Yeah, it's not
it
right.
was 2019,
Yeah,
and the front arrived. It was 2019. It
yeah,
changed
exactly.
an hour. It changed an hour after.
Yeah, the
So
changes. Yeah,
yeah. So sometimes it helps, sometimes not. And I think the observation to look the clouds on the heat and the humidity is lots of time more sensible information to follow.
yeah, exactly. No, no, I know exactly what you're saying. But in the Southern Ocean, you'll get a massive pressure gradient. But in the
Yeah.
Pacific, it's not the same. Or the latitudes not too far from the when it's
Uh,
a lot softer, they're wide open.
Definitely no change.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Anyway, that's
so,
cool.
so,
All right, so you're obviously relaxed. So that means Capucinette is ready to go.
yeah,
Just put some more food
Capuchin,
on and go.
yeah, Capucinette nearly ready to go. Maybe some fresh food, some cleaned underneath by someone in Recife because I don't want to dive in this dirty water in the harbor. And yeah, it will be ready. Will be ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you see the challenge for the next leg? There's going to be a lot of beam winds and little bits, maybe doldrums.
Uh, so again, the weather is changing more than the forecast is saying.
Yeah.
You have some moments saying no wind in the place I am, and it's windy, and you have some moments they said it's rain, but we have sun. So I am not sure that the forecasts are very precise for this lake. So the observation will be very important. We will have a big stream pushing us along the coast. So again, we will have to play with this. We will have to play with the fishermen. We will have to play with the seagrass on the logs and with the rain because this is not a secret. Everyone sees this on his app, on Windy, for example, that the doldrums are going on our head for next week.
Yeah.
That means we will have maybe a week of rain. Uh, this won't be fun at all.
Oh well, you're heading home anyway. So what about your headspace in terms of it's going to be over soon? Touch wood. Do you know what you're doing next? Like you are you planning ahead, thinking of the finish of the race?
Uh, so first of things that was I was thinking this morning. This I did not imagine a year ago that I will have an interview with you on the Valentine's Day.
Okay, darling, it's okay. Yeah,
And
exactly.
the second things, no, before I finish my adventure on race, mini globe race, I have no other project than arriving the best possible, the best condition possible for the boat and for me. And after this, I will start maybe to imagine something different, but I don't know
Yeah,
what. I have no idea for the moment. Yeah,
yeah,
everyone's
cool.
talking a lot, but for me, I try to be concentrated today on my hammock and next week on my sailing to Antigua.
Makes sense. Okay, so you'll have a lot of talking to do anyway, because there'll be a lot of people when you get home. They'll be thinking, "Wow, you did it!" Blah blah blah. So you'll be talking for many months, I think.
Yeah, for the moment, I am not thinking I did it. For the moment, I still thinking I tried to do it
Yeah, yeah,
because it's still 2,400 miles more or less.
yeah, yeah,
And if the trades turn northeast, or if we have the waves they had a few days ago in the Caribbean, the north waves, due to the cold front,
yeah,
it will be really hard for our boat to tack there in this condition. But
yeah.
this is another story. We will see this in 3 weeks.
Absolutely. All right. Well, good to chat, Renaud. Don't get up. Just stay right where you are, and
Yeah,
we will we'll see you in Antigua, if not before.
yeah. I think you will be before us due to the condition I can see. So
Let's hope
yeah, we
so.
will
That's we.
we'll see you there. Maybe what did I said? We leave the 19, 29, the 9. Yeah, around the 9.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Well, good luck.
Okay, Don.
Okay. Good to chat. Yep. See you
Yep.
later. Bye bye.
See you. Bye bye.